Well, I've been told that you're doing whatever, only the things that you like to do. When I was in college, there was anti-Vietnam War protest was rampant, and I also joined the protest march. When you hear the word anti-war march, it's very radical and very extreme, but I was kind of involved in a very casual way. Our march was going through the big intersection of Omotesando. My friends from college said, Hisayo, go for it, and they're waving hands. And so I felt like I was the front runner of the era, and I was so excited being there. But the bottom line, I was very serious and very genuine. And my curiosity, like always, like to jump on the bandwagon because it all lies. I had the feeling of indignation towards social injustice. When I was 14, I read the novel called The River with No Bridge. And this novel depicts the Budak society, which is the outcast group at the bottom of the society in Japan. It talks about the gap between discriminated and all those that are discriminated. And so there's no bridge to connect those two classes. Back then, I was taught at school that we're all equal and fair and justice, but behind the scene, the world that did exist, and I was really shocked to learn that there was that discrimination. But since then, my curiosity and my search for various things have grown. And this is a picture. This is a picture of my college scenes. Do you think this is cool? This is very extreme. All the inflammatory words and the speech were everywhere back in my college. And within the campus, all the students were resorting to violence because of the conflict of different opinions. I wanted to stay as far as possible from this world. And around the time I was graduating from college, and there was no desire, and there's no desire to even create the bridge to connect two different opinions. So that really drove me away from this world. And after graduating college, although graduating from college, I only spent 1 year in college because the campus was locked out and all the students were kept away from the college campus. So I only had a year to study within the campus, but then I graduated, and soon after, I met Japan Philharmonic Symphony, an orchestra in Japan. And back then, Japan Philharmonic Symphony, and there was a sponsor company had stopped the financial support, so all the professional concert musicians were left out without no sponsor. And although there are professional musicians, they're pro in the musical instruments, but they have no experience of knowledge about management of the orchestra. But they really wanted to continue their performance, and they have created a small unit, and they have traveled around Japan with a small caravan, and they appeal to the people. They want to protect the orchestra. And gradually, many people were very touched with their sincere and genuine attitude that they want to protect the orchestra. So they were able to get a big waves of support. And myself, and you look at this picture, and when I see all the professional musicians dressed in a nice tuxedos, they look like a different person, and they're looking handsome. And so my heart was taken by all these concert musicians, and I thought, I wanted to support these musicians. I want to devote my youth, my time, energy for them. And that's why I joined Japan Philharmonic Orchestra. And Japan Philharmonic Orchestra did many things. And deep down in my heart, what do you call it? It's... You look at this picture. Oh, no, before that, let me show you a short movie. And this movie, very recently was taken at the Mori Art Museum, and it's a workshop at the Mori Museum of Art. Before that, please enjoy this video. And this is a scene was taken at the Mori Museum of Art. It's called A Simple Exhibition, and it's a collaboration music workshop with the exhibition of the simple of shape. And as you can see in this movie, that there's no conductor, no music note. All the people who participate, they make their group and they look at the art exhibition and they feel the inspiration. And based on the inspiration, they would connect and they would create one piece of music. And that's a workshop that we carried out. And as you can see here, all the participants, they would use their 5 senses to the full, and they would listen attentively. What's the current music, the sound, and when their music, their sound joined, and what's going to create the next wave of music. And they use their imagination, and they create a common music, and that they can create a beautiful ensemble. And this interaction or interdependency that's been carried out in this workshop, this is things that are exactly happening on the orchestra stage at the concert. By the orchestra, it's a very gentle communication. Music, there's only a players and there's audience. And they would resonate, their heart is resonated, and they create a shared time and the space together. And in this moment, it's like they're traveling on the same journey. That's the feeling that you get. I was able to engage in this work for 40 years. Why 40 years I was able to do that? Because there's a world that can be connected by music. March 11 of 2011, Great East Japan Earthquake. At that Great East Japan Earthquake, I thought we have to be there in Tohoku. So on April 4th, I traveled with 3 musicians and I went to the shelter with 3 musicians. It was a musician, violin, viola, trombone, an odd combination of 3 musicians traveled there. And once they started playing, many people gathered, and all the people were holding their tensions and their emotions were gradually melting as they listened to the music. I was able to feel how their emotions melt. Music has no language. They would not say, hang in there, be there, and stay there. Music can be interpreted by the things that they feel at the given moment, and there's a shared common feeling can be generated, and I think that's what the music does. All the orchestra concert musicians who are in the orchestra, once they're out in Tohoku, they could see right in front of their eyes the audience, and they could really emphasize all the feelings that they gained or brought back to their day-to-day music performance, and that's how I see the effect. So this is how I spent my past 40 years. As my curiosity takes, I've been doing a lot of things. But deep down, I really want this gentle ambience communication. I want many people as possible to taste and experience this gentle communication by music. But to really experience this, to understand, you have to be there and to really experience with your own self. But today, I would like to try and to express this with the language, because I think in the audience, you're full of curiosity and you're young and you're full of interest. That's why I'm trying to tell you all these things by language. But what I'm ultimately trying to achieve in the society, I think it's beyond the music. Even in the real day-to-day communication in the world, that where we can be respected our freedom and to really realize the world with freedom is respected. In a more simple word, where everyone can have food and we do not have to suffer poverty and we can enjoy peace. And I hope those world would be achieved, and that's my dream. Well, now we live in the society that the world, it seems like going for the opposite direction. But my true intention, my heart is there. So music can be a bridge of various things. On the other hand, there's science and technology has been advancing, and there's AI, the robots, or what was the other one? Biotechnology, yes. So all these things that are kind of distant from ourselves are moving in an unprecedented speed. And these new things, I hope these would not create more disparity, but I hope this would bring the opposite. So I hope all these new technology would create more equally and could be a bridge to make the world a better equal place, and that's my wish. So I would like to be engaged in orchestra or music, and very interesting the role that the orchestra music can play, and that would really infuse my curiosity. End of story. Thank you.